This is Sonia Lynn, and you are now listening to the Anime Assembled podcast with your host, Indy and John Forsaken Powers.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nerd mixers, A-plusers, anime enthusiasts across the land. We are back. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe at those below. A+ Report on YouTube, Anime Assemble on Instagram. It is For the Order, Anime Assemble. Myself, Indy Uchiha, John Forsaken Powers. What's cracking, boy?
What's happening, brother? It is good to be back. It has been far too long.
Very much so, man. I'm so happy to be back. It's been so much going on. The YouTube is now monetized. A+ Hero Report has been doing a lot. Man, it's just it feels like home. Feels like home.
It's been a long time coming. We went on our own journey, and just like Ash, we finally made it back home.
I see what you did there.
Yes,
Pokemon
sir.
Journeys. Good job with that.
Yes,
oh wow. Somebody took a couple of classes during the break.
Maybe not so much. But you got to try to connect where you can connect. That's how we do.
Definitely. Well, this is the pod where we talk everything anime, manga, Asian influence over American culture. Something that's near and dear to us both. Anime is probably 80% of what I watch in my life.
That 99 for me.
99.9998 for John.
A little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking like, man, I gotta fix my background back up. It's been a lot going on. Little kitty had kittens, and my office got turned into a cat haven.
You know what? That's all right. At least you got some nice little animals to pet. I'm sitting over here. I got figures collecting dust.
Yeah, well, I saw somebody was chewing on Sasuke, so I decided to just take everything down because I was worried about that. But but what's been going on, man? I see you had a nice little trip to a convention.
I did. I actually was fortunate. It was spur of the moment. I was talking about it all last year, but I actually ended up going to Anime Central, ASIN, if you will. It was a blast. I bought a whole bunch of stuff. All of the stuff on that shelf right there, as well as that shelf right there, were from my trip, except for that one. Sorry, I'm trying my best here, but yeah, I got to pick up a whole bunch of Dr. Stone figures. I got to pick up a whole bunch of Tensura figures. I got some art, checking it out at Artist Alley. There was a lot of cosplayers. I should have posted my pictures on the Instagram. I was slacking a little bit. A lot was happening.
You still can.
I'll do that by the end of this week. Okay. I took more videos than I did pictures, so we'll see. I'll try to see what I can do in order to get that going. But yeah, at least we'll get some content up there. But it was a blast.
That's what it do. Forsaken's ASIN 2023 coverage coming soon.
Oh,
you heard it here first. I'm gonna put it out there, so he has to put it up there.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to do that. It's been a minute.
Yeah, so that means y'all need to subscribe to that Instagram if y'all want to see the coverage of ASIN.
Make me eat my words. Make me do it, please.
Definitely. They just opened up a anime store in the East Mall out here, and that they specialize in collectibles. So I walked in there, and it's a life-size Zoro statue for $500 that I will purchase. As soon as I'm able to purchase it. Where I'm going to put it, I don't know. Maybe I'll put it in the front yard or something like that. But
it'll work.
Yeah, I'm definitely purchasing that.
That's what's up.
They have they sold it. They had a Itachi Susanoo. In there, and it was reanimated Itachi Susanoo, and they had that, and then they had a what else was it? Dang, I think it was the father. I say father son, and everybody always goes to Dragon Ball Z, but it was the father son Rasengan statue.
Oh,
It was like
Minato and
150.
Naruto.
Nah, it was Naruto and
Oh,
Boruto.
Naruto and Baruto. Oh,
Yeah, that I
okay.
really wanted. And the Rasengan, this the giant Rasengan that they did to beat the
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
from the movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Okay.
it glows and everything. And like I
Mm,
want that bad, but with
mm,
with Street Fighter 6, with the new Naruto fighting game coming out, Mortal Kombat 11,
mm.
finances are a little tight right now.
Yeah, I feel that, dude. As much as I love figures, they do get a little pricey at times. So I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to be saving a little bit before I can start dropping money like that.
Yeah, there's definitely some new My Hero figures that I want to that I've seen
Mm,
be released recently, that the ones that you never see, like from a bunch of side characters and stuff like that, that I really
mm,
want. There's a really good Stain one that just came out, I think from
mm,
I think it's a Bandai not no, it's a Bandai Namco. I can't remember who did the statue, but it's really dope.
mm.
It's like from the panel for one of the recent My Hero mangas, which where they're talking about the heroes um getting energized to do something, and it's that quick
Mm.
panel with Pain, and he's like standing on the side of the wall in like his best Spider-Man pose or whatever like that.
Oh, okay.
And
Okay, that's what's up.
yeah, it's like the wall and him standing there with, you know what I'm saying, it's his like he's getting ready to take his sword out like that from that
Okay,
panel. Yeah, I kind of want that. That's like the
that would be
dopest thing
cool.
statue I've seen. Yeah.
Oh, that would be for sure.
Yeah. But there's been a lot of goings on in
So much.
anime. We took the 3 biggest stories this week to bring to y'all, to talk to y'all about.
Mhm.
And speaking of My Hero, there's been a lot of My Hero news. There's a casting for a live action My Hero that's
Mhm.
brought a little bit of ruckus, you know what I'm saying, to the anime community. And I guess we're gonna talk about this for the first time and see how we feel about this. Have you heard about the My Hero live action that's coming to Netflix, isn't it?
I believe so. I have heard of the live action. I knew they did a play back in Japan for My
Mm-hmm.
Hero, and I think around the time when the play was really kicking up storm, that's when they dropped this news about the live action. Granted, they're doing a live action for everything, so I'm not really too surprised. I did not see about that cast though, so this is definitely going to be interesting.
All right, check this out. We get a lot of stuff from Anime Manga Central and comicbookresource.com. So
Mhm.
check it out. My Hero Academia live action cast reveal, a potential cast list services for Netflix upcoming live action film adaptation of the popular series My Hero Academia. As detailed on Anime Senpai, which is an amazing source for anything anime or manga,
They're on
Netflix
top.
confirmed last year that it would release a live action film adaptation of My Hero Academia. The initial announcement revealed by Joby Harold, one of the writers for Obi-Wan Kenobi and The Flash,
Hmm.
and Setsuke Sato, Death Note, Light Up the New World, as both director and executive producer. The company has since gone several months and has yet to confirm further details on the project. Recently, a cast list for the film appeared on Imbd, which has people thinking that this is the real cast, but most of it has now been removed, leaving only Leon Masuda as Ochako.
Oh yeah, Ochako.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Taylor Page as Rumi. An anime-centric Twitter account called Takonum or Takonum_FR showcased the removed cast pics to its followers. Another Twitter account called My Time to Shine Hello also reported that My Hero Academia film has changed into a series for Netflix. So instead of
Oh,
getting a film, we get a series. I think I like the series more, the idea of having a series more,
yeah.
because we could thresh out stuff a little bit more. And
Mhm.
I would like to see them give us a little bit more detail than what My Hero has, because the My Hero world is so rich with so many characters. I wish we got time to sit with individual characters, whether they were side characters, enemies, anything like that, similar to what we do One Piece. That's what I felt like
For sure.
My Hero should have did, because the only reason One Piece is over 1,000 episodes is because we'll spend 6 episodes on one character. Like we have to know all of the Straw Hats, everybody the Straw Hats interact with. If we get
Mhm.
introduced to a big bad, We have to know why they went bad. You know, I feel like My Hero could have went
Don't
with
forget the
something like that.
flashbacks.
Yeah, plus the flashbacks. I feel like My Hero lacked a lot from not taking advantage of doing something like that. Not necessarily filler, but just, you know what I'm saying, all these interesting characters that just flew past.
Really diving into the nitty-gritty of the world itself. I
Yeah.
agree.
About My Hero Academia's alleged live casting, though, the list shows picks for the lead character, Izuku, or as we call him, Deku, along with Ida, Bakugo, Shoto, and Achiko. David Mazouz, who is best known for his role as Bruce Wayne from the Gotham series, is cast as Deku. No. Isaac, we're going to get into that when we get down to the photo.
No.
Isaac Hempstead, who had major roles in both Game of Thrones and The Awakening, is reportedly playing Ida, which was weird to me because you're going to put the dude who didn't have legs in Game of Thrones for like the entire run to a character that uses nothing but his legs. Jay Snow, but he's probably the character as close to as far as looking like the character, you know what I'm saying, for casting, if he puts the muscle on. Jace Norman, the star of Nickelodeon comedy series Henry Danger, is reportedly playing Bakugo. I can get behind that, but I don't know. Graham Bashir, known for his roles in Stargirl and The Good Doctor, is reportedly playing Shoto. Isabel Gamoros, the rumor pick for Ochako, is known for their role in the TV miniseries Florida Man. Although it's unclear why most of these actors were removed from IMDb, some speculate that Netflix is considering recasting after waves of backlash from My Hero Academia fans upset that non-Japanese actors were cast as canonically Japanese characters. This is one of the places where me and you have big issues, you know what I'm saying, with what's going on, considering that My Hero takes place in Japan, that one of the biggest characters in the show that the show like revolves around is mentored by an American hero who comes to Japan. I understand the uproar from fans and why they would be upset at this. Looking at these castings, it's probably only one or two that I'd be able to get behind. Like I can get behind Jace as Bakugo. He was amazing on Henry Danger. The kid can really act. He kind of looks like Bakugo. I can understand like everybody not being cast as, you know, I'm from Asian descent. I could see Bakugo. It would be an interesting twist on the character for me if Bakugo if they changed him to maybe an American character, descent, but was born in Japan. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that would add a little bit more on him not being the one chosen for All for One. You know what I'm saying? Because he could be like, I look like All Might. You know what I'm saying? I'm American like All Might. You know, why wouldn't All Might choose me? Because this is before you get all of the ancestors of All for One and understand that All Might was the first American-born, you know what I'm saying, carrier of All for One. That everybody else was Japanese. And it would make an interesting dichotomy in what's going on between there. All the other casts, I feel like, other than Ochako, can go because I feel like anybody could play her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And to be totally honest with you, with her, to me, she has more American characteristics in the way she acts, her attitude and stuff like that than what you see normally from a Japanese character in the anime. Because normally when you're watching an anime, most of the Japanese women in the anime, even if they are leads, are all like super fawning over, you know what I'm saying, two of the other main characters. And even though she has feelings for Deku, that's not the main plot line, and she stands on her own too. You know what I'm saying, type stuff. So to me, that's something that drew me to her character. She was different from other female characters that I was seeing in other anime.
I agree with you there. I do like the fact that at least the idea that you spin for Bakugo for the one for all thing, being with him being an American descent, just being born and raised in Japan. It would also bring uniqueness to the live action versus, you know, the animation itself. So I like that idea, you know, especially like with it being episodical versus being just a film. That could go quite a long way, especially with, you know, like the drama or the character dynamics that they play, like in a sense, not necessarily ostracizing him, not only because of how he portrays himself, being loud and, I'll murder you, blah, 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 but also because, oh, well, you're also a different ethnicity. You don't understand in a sense. So that would also, I feel like that could be a good play point for the live action to differentiate itself, to kind of stand out on its own. So I do like that kind of idea there. In terms of Ochako, though, I don't think necessarily. I feel like it's more so they want her to be built up because, one, she's a hero herself, but at the same time, they're going to drop her love interest onto Deku at the right time, kind of thing. I feel like that's where it's going to go. I do actually like the visual here for the actress that they chose for Ochako, because even without her being dolled up and stylized to look like her, she really honestly looks like her even right now. Granted, the rest of them, I'm having a little bit. I could see Jace Norman looking like Bakugo, but David, my man, I don't know. Isaac, bro, you in the wrong universe. I'm sorry, bro, but
Same thing with Graham, because I feel like Shoto should be, even though he's a lot of girls are turned on by Shoto. You know what I'm saying? And even though he's like that, Shoto has a Sasuke-ness. You know what I'm saying? For a lack of a better term to him.
Fair.
And I just don't get that from Graham. Now, I'm with everybody who feels like the cast has been whitewashed, because technically this casting is a total whitewash on.
We got the Brady Bunch, my dude.
Yeah, the origin and the feeling of what's going on. Even if you cast Bakugo and Ochako as, you know what I'm saying, somebody Caucasian descent, Deku, Ida, and Shoto can't be. They can't be. You know what I'm saying? You can get away with Bakugo and Ochako actually being American or something like that. Like, you could rewrite the story that they came over from America, but them other three, nah, their lore is so tied to, you know what I'm saying, Japanese culture and heritage. Their families too embedded in what's going on in UA in Japan and everything that's going on for them to be able to be cast as, you know what I'm saying, Caucasian actors. And it maybe the reason they did this was because they don't want the movie to be subtitled. Maybe they feel like they can't find good enough actors of the ages they need them to be, that speak English well enough in order for them to be cast in these roles. But when it comes to that, the characters don't necessarily have to be Japanese. To me, I don't know how you feel about this, but to me, they just had to be an Asian descent. There's plenty of amazing Filipino actors, you know what I'm saying, Chinese actors. There's other Asian ethnicities out there that you could have cast in these roles to keep the Asian influence.
Yeah. See, I agree there. I mean, I'm not even too stressed out at the fact that, that they're white. It's more so the depiction, the people themselves. For me, I just can't see the vision here for these. I can't see, oh yeah, Isaac Hempstead. I could see him looking like Ida, kind of thing. If you can get the image there, by whatever. But to the point of having actual, like ethnical, I guess, accurate ethnicity for the characters. For Avatar, for instance, for the live action for that, I'm not talking about the M. Night Shyamalan version. I'm talking about the new one or whatever. That just goes to show that there's plenty of talent out there. They were able to, granted, they might not be the exact same age that they're looking for, but they hit them spot on. Like, they got the ethnicity, they got the age, like, it's doable. So, and the fact, look at One Piece. They literally grabbed ethnically accurate casting for each Straw Hat pirate. And you're telling me that you can't find someone at least to look the part and to fit the general description? Come on, man. Like, you could do it. You just being lazy.
And One Piece is a melting pot of, like, you know what I'm saying, ethnicities. That's one thing about One Piece. There's somebody that from every ethnic background is a character that they can attach themselves to.
Right. So the fact that you didn't even bother to take the time, this is gonna end up being like Ghost in the Shell, where everybody was so dang upset that the only reason why that movie did even as relatively decent as it did was for the fact that they chose Scarlett Johansson.
And I feel bad for Scarlett Johansson because she really did play her butt off in that role. But if people watch Ghost in the Shell, it was a Japanese woman that put, you know what I'm saying, whose essence got put into somebody else's, you know what I'm saying, body. So that's why I feel like Scarlett Johansson should be able to play that part. But with that, I feel like it was a bunch of people that didn't even know the original manga, the original anime, in an uproar, you know what I'm saying, over that. Or look, what was the other movie? The Battle Angel, the Alita, is it Alita Battle Angel?
Yeah, Alita Battle Angel, and everybody was freaking out about how like they did the anime eyes with the live action.
Yeah. My thing is with that, another casting you could have had, you know what I'm saying, in a role, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. There's shoot, you can even go I call them hybrids, the wrong thing, multiracial, you know what I'm saying, individuals who might be American and Asian. You know what I'm saying? That that are out there to do. I mean, I look at all these different shows and stuff. I just scrolled down Netflix and looked at how many Asian influenced shows there were where stars were of Asian descent, and I'm like, come on, dog. Like for real. I'm like, George Lopez tried to give you, you know what I'm saying, if George Lopez can give you a Latino based, you know what I'm saying, background to find, you know what I'm saying, who he needs. It's not that hard. All you have to do is look. I mean, come on.
Or it's just
there's like I said, there's plenty of amazing Filipino, you know what I'm saying, actors out there that can also play these parts.
My thing, look, live actions already give a bad rep. Why are you pushing the same narrative of, yo, well, you know what? We got an IP that's already doing great. No matter what, this is going to go great. No, it will still flop if you don't put in the work and the effort. The reason why these animes do so well is because hard work, dedication, effort, and time are put into making them happen. So if you want the live action to do just as well as the anime and not flop like 90% of live actions, put in the work, put in the time, dedicate. Don't just take the name. The name isn't going to mean nothing if you're going to give crap. Excuse my French, but I mean, come on now, dude.
Man, I get it.
Give us what we want. We want the same quality as the anime, just in real life. It ain't hard. It ain't hard. If Hollywood can make all these A-listing $1 million budget movies and stuff like that that are just beautiful, you know, you could do this. There are plenty of shows that have done this time and time again without being based off of an anime. So why can't we get the same thing here? It ain't hard. It ain't hard.
Exactly. Staying with my hero. Next topic. There was a crossover.
And I love me a good crossover.
There was a really good crossover, and I want to get into this. That there was a Marvel. It seems like they're crossing over everybody but DC.
Well, I mean, this one makes sense though. You know, especially given how these two have crossed over before. So.
Right. There was a Marvel DC crossover. I mean, Marvel DC. Marvel My Hero. You could tell what I want, right?
Yes,
crossover. Sir. The Spider-Verse's weirdest spinoff is a Doc Ock Isekai manga. Doc Ock has long vexed Spider-Man, but his latest adventure sees him reincarnated as a Japanese schoolgirl in a Spider-Verse manga series. This is crazy.
Oh, this will be big.
Yeah. We should say My Hero influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like Spider-Man typically protects New York, but he's beloved the world over. Spider-Man is probably the biggest superhero in the world. This has seen numerous alternate takes on the character that are based in different countries, from Japanese tosaku to comic books where he's the hero is based in India. Japan is now the source of perhaps his strangest story yet, with the entry in the Spider-Verse jumping on the latest anime manga's bandwagon. Spinning off the release of Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, a new manga Yes, is being
Sorry.
released in Japan that's based on the character. It's actually focused more on Dr. Octopus, though not in the way most fans recognize him. It involves the creators from the biggest superhero manga series out there. Biggest manga series out there. No, notice that. They said biggest out there. Giving Spidey and his tentacled villain a day in class courtesy of My Hero Academia. Basically the story of Spider-Man Octopus Girl is unlike anything else involving the hero and villain. The premise, I like that too. The picture they decided to use from the Doc Ock versus Spider-Man right there. Its premise involves mad scientist Dr. Octopus Otto Octavius falling into a coma, but when he wakes up, he's in a much different form, awakening in the body of a Japanese middle schooler, Otoha Akatamiya. Close enough. Doc's new life is much different than the one he spent fighting Spider-Man. Premiering on Shonen Jump Plus app on June 20th, the manga is sure to reimagine the iconic villain for years to come. Of course, it's not the first Japanese adaptation of Spider-Man to come about over the years. The first was the 1978 Spider-Man TV series in Japan, which radically changed the character for the country's audiences. Though he wore the traditional costume, this Spidey's alternate ego was Takuya Yamashiro, describing himself as an emissary of hell. He piloted a giant robot, Leopardon, to fight against gigantic monsters. Spider-Man and Iron Man also appeared in the Japanese-produced manga Secret Reverse, which was handled by the creator of the popular Yu-Gi-Oh! Franchise. Thus, the Strange Octopus Girl is only one of many Eastern revisions to the character, but is drawing from some of the biggest trends in the manga world. Basically, they go on to talk about how the idea of the character being reborn or reincarnated into another world is the crux of an ever popular isekai genre of anime and manga, which is personally my favorite genre. The reincarnations can often be incredibly ridiculous, ironic, or straight up random, with some of the most popular being protagonists reborn as giant spiders.
Or even
vending machines, which both of those are very good.
For some reason, yes.
I'm a spider. So what? I was reincarnated as a spider. Yeah. So what? Yeah. I'm a spider.
And then reincarnated as a vending machine is the other one they're referencing.
Yeah. Both are amazing. If you haven't checked those out, check those out.
It's so goofy for the vending machine one, but I for whatever reason, it's like a guilty pleasure thing. Like I don't know why it's good, but it's bad.
All right. What was I at? I lost the vending machine part.
I got right there. Yeah.
Compared to these, a Japanese schoolgirl isn't so strange, though the fact that it's Dr. Octavius, Dr. Octopus, who's reborn into her body is definitely an interesting twist. Given how isekai currently is, it also makes sense to try and sell Spider-Man to Japanese audiences in the way that they're obviously receptive towards, which is smart. Because doing it as an isekai lets you keep all the traditional tropes of Spider-Man, but have like forced them to adapt to a Japanese culture, because now, I'm a Japanese schoolgirl, I guess I got to do stuff Japanese schoolgirls do. The writing and art of the book are handled by Hideyuki Furuhashi and Betancourt. I got the last name good. The duo behind the My Hero Academia spinoff series, My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which, if you haven't read that manga, is a really, really good series. That series not only deals with superheroes with own, but the franchise is also easily one of the biggest manga anime properties at the time. This is another genius move in terms of drawing readers' attention, and it helps that Atua looks like she hangs out with Deku and All Might. It could certainly be part of a surefire formula, making a popular manga with Spider-Man Octopus Girl having all the Parker luck in the world for Doc Ock's craziest form yet. Sir.
Yes.
How do you honestly feel? Like, do you feel like this is something that could be long-term successful, you know what I'm saying, for them? Or do you feel like this is something that's just going to be like a one-off crazy thing? Do you feel like if it gets popular, is this something that they continue on? And this is a relationship that Marvel can have with them?
Definitely relationship wise, yes, but get story wise, I don't think that they'll be able to maintain it long enough. Just for the sole fact that it's already you're trying to do Spider-Man, but at the same time you're trying to do My Hero. And on top of that, with Doc Ock's female version, she literally looks like Froppy. She looks like Suyu. Okay.
Yes.
So granted that's not a big deal or anything, but it's just it it's going to lose its luster quickly unless if the story's just that good. And granted, we're not going to know how good the story is going to be until the first few chapters drop out. So given, it's not out yet, I can't say in terms of how long it's going to last, but from what we know now, unless if they do some crazy stuff, some crazy good stuff, crossovers normally they're short and sweet, and it's more or less to generate really big popularity so both IPs can get that extra oomph in their numbers. So as much as I love the premise, but granted that's just because I love isekai too. It's one of the most random genres because literally anything and everything can and will happen. Just like they said, there is an anime about someone who died and got reincarnated as a vending machine.
Right.
Okay. The fact this could literally be considered canonical. This can be canon, if they ever reference it in the legitimate, like, the actual Spider-Man comics and be like, I feel like I had a fever, Doc Ock's talking to Spidey and he's like, I feel like I had a fever dream where I was a girl and this is like deja vu or something, to reference it and to pay homage, just like how they did with what was it, when Marvel crossover Deadpool with My Hero. If they're doing more and more of this stuff, we could actually see like a TV series regarding where it's like My Hero characters meet up with Marvel heroes in order to do, like to save the world and like this big hero thing. Like they've done, whatchamacallit, where they get, in a sense, kind of like the Avengers, but except, at the very last fight where they get every hero or whatever, they could do something similar. Given there was, oh, what is the name of it? There's a Marvel Avengers. I think it's like Ultra Disc War or Ultrasonic War, something like that. It through and through feels like Japanese animation. I believe it actually is a Japanese anime rendition of the Avengers. They could full well do something like this with Spider-Man and My Hero. I would love to see it. Granted, it really all depends on how the series goes, or well, the publication of it goes.
Yeah, I can get it. I mean, I can see it being something good. Doc Ock to me is a strange choice. I think it would have been something. I thought they would actually took like the manga influenced character from Spider-Verse or Ghost Spider or even Miles Morales, with as big as he's being right now, and for the crossover. But I'm guessing when you're going what might be the strangest situation, having Doc Ock do it and be out of place would make the most sense for an isekai, because he will probably be the one that had the hardest time adjusting. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? So that I can't wait. They said the 30th, right?
The 20th, I believe.
The 20th. Yeah, the 20th. It's definitely something that I'm gonna look into and check out.
I want to do one more little tidbit just because we're talking about Into the Spider-Verse. Since Spider-Man has a multiverse, and well, granted, Avengers in general has a multiverse, but Spider-Man specifically has his own unique multiverse going on right now with that. This could be one of those alternate universes that they deal with that could ultimately, like, let's say, they get like a 4th or 5th movie or whatever, or even if they do like a one-off, like a spin-off, like episode OVA of whatever or something like that, they could do something where they actually introduce this, so this could be huge. And given with Doc Ock being a Japanese schoolgirl, they might have Peter Parker end up ultimately joining him if this portion does well. And he becomes something weird or whatever, maybe he joins the world and becomes a teacher, or is surprisingly enough a villain this time around because Doc Ock is integrated into the class, and he's a good guy or a good girl instead of being a villain this time, and the roles are reversed. There's a lot of possibility here. That's my tidbit.
Yeah, it's something that you pique my interest in what you're trying to do.
Right, exactly.
Definitely. Now, guys, we got one more story left. One more. And like the news, we're gonna leave on a happier. Well, I guess everything's been happy. I guess it was sad. This might be a sad note for some people because their theory just got debunked. So it might be. We're gonna leave on a sad note for some of you. Sorry,
but
sorry,
we're
not
leaving.
sorry.
It's not going to be necessarily sad because there's more possibilities open now that you're off of this theory and onto another. See, happy.
Yeah. We're helping your mind works because a Pokemon theory was debunked, and I think it is what most people wanted, man. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
I was one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Ash isn't Lego's dad.
It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense, but come on, man. It would have been great. But yeah, I get it.
The 9th episode of Pokemon Horizons, the latest anime series in the franchise, debunked speculation that Ash Ketchum is Lego's father. Per Screen Rant, the anime's 9th episode involves Liko meeting up with her father, who is named Alex. Before this encounter, many fans speculated that Liko was Ash Ketchum's child, meaning she would be carrying on the torch for both metatextually as the franchise's new protagonist and eternally with the plot. The theory's popularity spawned a wealth of additional speculation about who Ash ended up with romantically, with fan favorites like Misty, May, Dawn, and Iris offered as potential candidates. Pokemon Horizons premiered on April 14th, and many viewers have been quick to form predictions about the anime story and lore. The Ash is Lego's father theory isn't the first that the show has already debunked. Notably, multiple theories cropped up around Quaxley, one of the 9th generation starters who feature heavily throughout the promotional material for Pokemon Horizon, but did not have an obvious trainer. The series' 7th episode finally provided an answer to who received the Water Pocket Monster as a Pokemon companion. The franchise expanded in multiple ways recently beyond shifting focus away from Ash and toward Liko and Pokemon Horizons. The upcoming stop-motion animation, Pokemon Surge, will break the franchise storytelling formula. Instead of following a trainer who wants to win a championship, the series will tell a story of Haru, a resort worker. Okay, Pokemon Surge will debut on Netflix sometime in the near future, but an official release date has not been announced. So, among learning about what's going on with that, we also find out that there's another series. I like the fact that we have another series taking maybe a different view on what's going on, because I always wanted like a view from somebody else that, you know what I'm saying, Ash and already interacted with. Like, you know what I'm saying, maybe one of the nurses, maybe one of the police officers, like following around, seeing what their day-to-day was about. So being a resort worker and maybe having to step up and do something, or watching all this. Like, I want the resort worker that has to deal with a random Pokemon battle starting and something getting, you know what I'm saying, destroyed, and they got to clean this up. Maybe they hate Pokemon and Pokemon trainers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
my God.
Like, I don't get paid enough for this. That sounds cool.
Like a realistic rendition.
Yeah, like a realistic rendition of Pokemon. Like, why do I always have to clean this crap up?
No.
But how do you feel about them actually stepping further away from Ash in order to try to, you know what I'm saying, dawn this new trainer as the future of the series?
It makes sense. As begrudgingly as I like to admit it, because I was expecting Ash to be the main dude, because he's been the main dude for the last, 20 years? So I was expecting him to be 10-year-old forever. You know, it goes on to the whole lore of, because he saw Ho-Oh and you get your wish granted, and his wish was to go on the ultimate adventure. So that's why he's been 10-year-old for the last 20 years. I was really expecting something along those lines, like, oh, it's always going to be Ash. You know, granted, he's always going to have companions. He's always going to have friends. It's always going to be Ash. But I get it. They're trying to sprinkle a little sugar onto the story. They're trying to add a new spice, because granted, Ash is great, Pokemon's great, but maybe we can get a little more out of it than, you know, what Ash has been providing. And it's understandable, you know, you don't, oh, well, it's Pokemon, you know, it is what it is. Now anything's possible. It could be it's totally different now because it's not Ash, right?
Right.
I do hope for the fact that they do still have Ash make guest appearances, maybe not necessarily as a main guest appearance, but like you see him in the background, or you hear reference of him in a discussion of this, crazy trainer, kind of like how they did for Yu-Gi-Oh when Yugi would interact with some of the newer members, or from like what's his face from GX. I forget his name. It's been so long, but they have these ways to pay homage to the previous series, just like how in when Ash went to go visit all of his old friends and all of the Pokemon and all that stuff. Like, don't just like, oh yeah, like don't be like Andy and be like, I don't want to play with you anymore and drop him in the basket.
Right.
Like, give this man some. He held this legacy of 20 years holding Pokemon up on his shoulders. You better pay homage to him. Homage, whatever you want to pronounce it. But
yeah, I mean,
I like it though that they're splitting off.
Yeah, let Ash be the Pokemon master at the end that everybody has to defeat. I mean, you could do something to keep his legacy alive, or like you said, there could be news clippings of what Ash did. That all it takes is an episode where they walk past. Maybe it's a news reporter. Oh, Ash goes undefeated again. You know what I'm saying? And
something.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you. Now, it doesn't bother me that Ash isn't her father. I don't think I wanted that type of connection anyway. I kind of wanted something new. We've been with Ash for so long. It's like his story was perfect for me. Let that man live and give us something new. There's so many trainers in this world, especially like trainers that Ash interacted with, different things like that I've always wondered what did they do? What did their story end up being that I wanted to follow? So I'm glad that I get to follow a new trainer in order to see what's going on. And these 9 episodes to me have been good. I mean, and they don't feel rehashed. I don't feel like I'm watching the same thing over again. It actually feels new and fresh. And to me, that's the best thing about what this series is. So for all those that are mad and throwing a fit that Ash isn't her dad, sorry.
Give it a chance, my guy.
Sorry. Maybe she'll run up against Ash's son or daughter. You know what I'm saying? Right. In a Pokemon league.
Like it's why does it matter at this point? Like, she is who she is. Let it run. But going on to Pokemon Concierge, the stop motion one or whatever about someone working at a resort, Haru. I like the fact that they're doing something other than just like a trainer trying to be the master or a champion or whatever. I wanted to see more of the Pokemon Rangers, because I love that whole style of it or whatever. I would not mind seeing some more of that. Granted, they had that Manaphy movie with the Pokemon Rangers and stuff, but I wouldn't mind seeing something like that, or even doing something with the beauty contest like they were doing with May and Dawn and stuff. Doing more than just like, oh yeah, we're gonna be the champion. I would like to see that kind of that interaction, flesh out the world. Pokemon's huge. We've seen how many different regions of this limitless world. Come on, you can give us more.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
For sure.
Oh man, it felt good to be back.
It does. Man.
Oh, and I'm so glad that the writer's strike doesn't affect anime. Well,
I mean, with Netflix, it might. There's a lot hitting. Well, no, I'm kidding.
No, it's not going to affect, because Netflix is just going to go over there like, just give us that.
Right.
It's done.
Netflix just does licensing. They don't make the show, really.
Right.
No, I'm kidding. They help.
All right, guys. Remember to submit your live viewer questions to the YouTube page, the community tab at APlus Hero Report. APlus Hero Report will be live later tonight, 7:30 Central Standard Time, I believe. So make sure you tune in for that and check it out. This won't be our normal day. You know what I'm saying? Being on Sunday mornings, we will go back to our normal Saturday days. It's just that we lazy. We just coming back. Deal with us for a second.
We got to get back in the groove with things.
Yeah, we got to get back in the groove with things. But at least we kept your Sunday morning entertaining with Hero Report coming on Sunday night. We look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Forsaken, let them know how to find you.
I am only in the one place that I'll say time and time again, I will beat this nail into the wood as much as I can. You can find me over at Anime Assembled on Instagram. As you may have noticed, we've been gone for a few months. I apologize for that. We apologize for that. But a lot have happened. We're coming back. We're going to make up for it. Don't you worry. There's going to be a whole bunch of new content coming out. So stay tuned.
Definitely.
And my man.
Yes. Like, subscribe, share. APlus Hero Report right here. Make sure you go follow and like Anime Assembled over on Instagram. Hey, man, I'm even to the point where you can follow me at Nerd Mix Alpha and Nerd Mix Music everywhere. Us over here at Anime Assembled, we're actually affiliates now of Amazon. We're putting stuff that we love to buy, whether it's pop statues and stuff like that. You'll see us drop links from time to time and stuff that we like that we're going to review in order for you guys to be able to pick up. So stay tuned for that. Make sure you stay tuned with everything we're doing for all your anime news. Shout out to Noir, Caesar. Love them over there. They're doing big things. Yes, Johnny Bryant, you're the man. Until next time, keep it A+. This has been a Nerd Mix and Anime Forever.
This is Sonia Lynn, and you are now listening to the Anime Assembled podcast with your host, Indy and John Forsaken Power.